All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. It is officially the end of Week 7 after last night's Monday Night Football game. So let's just jump into our NFL Week 7 pick results and let's get going. Of course, we have the bye weeks. I didn't get rid of those. We had the Denver Broncos, of course, beat the Arizona Cardinals 45 to 10 on Thursday night. The Broncos moved to 3 and 4, and the Cardinals fall to 1 and 6. They look even less inept on offense than they did with the old offensive coordinator. Let's see what happens as they try to improve or do something against the 49ers next week. I think the Broncos play the Chiefs, so they should enjoy this win while they have it and hope to God that something happens and they can maybe upset the Chiefs, but I highly, highly doubt that. Week 7, that puts us at 1-0 for our pick results for the week. It was a pretty good week for me, to be fully honest. I did pretty well on these picks. Only a couple games I lost, which you'll see going forward. The London game that was played at, of course, 9:30 a.m. The Chargers won 20 to 19 over the Tennessee Titans to improve to 5 and 2 and go into second place in the AFC West. And then the Titans fall to 3 and 4 and like second place still, I believe, in the horrible AFC South. If the Titans had actually just kicked the extra point on their game, would have been a game-tying touchdown. They would have tied it. Coach Vrabel went for the win. Can't really fault the guy for being super aggressive and wanting the W. Just trying to set the tone for his team, and it didn't work. It happens. Maybe you'll get them next week if you're Tennessee, but I think both these teams are actually bye next week, so it doesn't matter. You won't be seeing these teams no more. And then we have the New England Patriots and the Chicago Bears. Pretty good game, a lot better game than I personally thought it was going to be. 38 to 31, the Patriots won and improved to 5 and 2, creating more separation between them and the Dolphins. And the Bears fall to 3 and 3 and kind of go into last place until that weird little like third place, last place tie with the Lions. And they almost won the game. They threw a Hail Mary, but the Patriots were able to cut it short at the 1 yard line. So that was good. I was kind of nervous that they were going to lose, especially when I felt that play. That felt like it was going to be a game tying touchdown potentially, which would have sucked. That would have really, really sucked to have had to go to overtime against this Bears team that's going to be very good going forward, but they're still young. They're still going to have to work through a couple of the kinks to be able to beat some of the more elite teams going forward. So, the Bears are a work in progress, but they're a good work in progress. It's a good thing to be a Bears fan right now. I was pretty close with this score. I was only off by like 6 points and 10 points for one way. It was a bit more of a blowout than I was expecting. The Colts beat the Bills 37 to 5, and both teams are now 2 and 5 and are pretty irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. I wouldn't be too shocked if the Colts tried to trade away Andrew Luck to a team because of the fact that they're that bad, and they do actually have a good backup quarterback, but they have other things and like a lot of major concerns they need to address other than having a quarterback like Andrew Luck wasting his career in Indianapolis. And then the Bills, they're the Bills. It's what it is. Without Josh Allen, they're going to be goddamn terrible. They play the Patriots at home. Oh boy, that's going to be horrible. Um, I feel sorry for the Bills somewhat this year. That's a bad football team. The Houston Texans went ahead and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars by a score of 20 to 7. And this was a game I really had no idea. It was a toss-up. I just kind of shut my eyes and like poked at the screen, and it ended up being the Jaguars. That's pretty much how I decided it. So yeah, I wasn't really too sad. I was actually pretty happy to see the Texans go ahead and beat the Jaguars. I like the Texans, actually. I hate the Jaguars. So now the Texans are in first place in the AFC South. The Jaguars are like in second or in like third because I believe they lost to the Titans this year. So Jaguars, they also benched Bortles in this game and they've recently said they're going to keep him as a starter even though they benched him. This is a team that should go after Luck in a trade or try to go after anybody. Like go sign Kaepernick, go do something because Blake Bortles should not be starting for your team. It is the detriment of your whole fucking organization right now. Hopefully Carlos Hyde can like bail you out for a couple games, but I highly doubt he's going to be able to do that. When you get Fournette back, you'll have a great running system. You'll have two great fucking power backs that you could just unleash on people. And then a game I almost predicted the entire score too. The Lions beat the Dolphins 32-21. The Lions improved to 3-3 on the seasons as the Dolphins fall to 4-3 and start to fade fast in that AFC West East. That's the Patriots division, and you can't start falling apart because the Patriots are on a roll and are looking great. It started after they got the shit kicked out of them by the Lions. Um, this is a very confusing Lions team. I think we've seen, like, when you look at the games they played against the Packers, Patriots, and now the Dolphins, that is the actual identity of this team. I'm thinking as long as they focus and can play genuinely mistake-free football like they did, like pretty close to mistake-free anyway, like they did against the Dolphins, they're going to win these games. They run when they're running the ball well, they seem to be winning, which is a very shocking thing if you're a Lions fan. I don't even know, like, our line isn't that much different other than the new rookie, and all of a sudden we can run the ball. Maybe it's that we just never tried before. We went with tiny little running backs for whatever reason. Whatever. It's fun to be a Lions fan right now because there's a lot of optimism. You play Seattle at home this week, this next week, so hopefully something good happens. If you're a Dolphins fan, this is starting to get pretty hard to take. Hopefully you guys can get a win against the Texans on Thursday, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Texans are hot, and you are not. It's a Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I hate the Dolphins. Fuck them. I'm glad they lost. Go Lions. Our pick results to this point put us at 5-1. I'm looking like a goddamn genius. I'm thinking when I'm going over these picks, I'm like, dude, I got every goddamn game right this week except the stupid fucking Jaguars, who I'm not picking anymore until they get rid of Blake Bortles. That's the boycott. You can't ever pick the Jaguars to win a game if they are going to start Blake Bortles. Even if they play like the Cardinals, like you can't start this team. Like you can't pick this team to win because it's Blake Bortles. He'll play as bad as the Cardinals. It's just who he is as a person. The Minnesota Vikings beat the New York Jets 37-17 to improve to 4-2-1 and to go into first place by themselves in the NFC North. And the New York Jets fall to 3-4. Regardless, it's a fun season if you're a Jets fan. Darnold shows promise. The team's showing promise. You're just a young team, a lot like the Bears. It's going to be a couple years before you're up and moving, especially and it's nothing against the quarterback or against the team necessarily. It's just a young team. It is what it is. I actually think the Jets might be the future of this division, or it's going to be the Dolphins. But we can kind of say that it looks like the Jets are the future of the division, whereas the Dolphins might be the immediate future. The Jets are like 4 years down the road. This is going to be a really tough team to fuck with, especially if Darnold develops into a superstar like he looks like he's going to. So yeah, it is what it is. The Carolina Panthers beat the Philadelphia Eagles 21-17. It was a very fun comeback win for the Carolina Panthers. That is something Cam Newton doesn't get enough credit for, is how clutch the man is. Very good comeback, very clutch quarterback. I I really like the Panthers, and I really hate them too. I'm a big Cam Newton fan. That is what it is, but I don't like the Panthers at all. Um, so there's that. I don't know how that breaks down. Then there's the Philadelphia Eagles, who struggled again on offense. I thought they might have been back after their showing against the Giants. I was fooled. I was bamboozled. I was got. So that was no fun. Um, yeah, that is what it is. The Eagles seem to be not as they don't have a good running game, and they need to go trade for somebody. The Eagles are garbage again. How's that feel, Birds fans? Looks like your wings are clipped. Cleveland Browns went and played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they went to overtime. Cleveland, the overtime Kings, were not able to pull this one out though, as they lost 23-26, as the weird last name kicker for the Buccaneers hit a game-winning, like a game, I think a field goal with as the time expired to kind of just end the game, and well, it is what it is. The Buccaneers improved to 3-3. The Browns are 2-4-1. They play Pittsburgh. Would be hilarious if they tied again, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Steelers are going to murder this team. And the Bucks finally stopped that losing streak. They stopped the bleeding. Their defense looked a little bit better this week. So I mean, good for the Bucks. They fire their guy. Now they look a little bit better. hey, maybe this is a good start, a good sign of a turnaround, even though it's the Browns. So let's be super realistic about that. And that brought me to a 6-3 record because I fucking said the Browns and Eagles would win. They fucked me. I was pissed off at this point, but it wasn't too bad. 6-3 was a lot better than last week at this point. And then we jumped to the 3-4 o'clock games. Um, I guess I was a little bit wrong about this game. The New Orleans Saints, I said would win 42-20 over the Baltimore Ravens. I was pretty wrong. They only won by 1 point because Justin Tucker somehow missed an extra point. First one in his career, 222 for 222. Now 222 for 223. And now the Saints are 5-1, and because of that, this Baltimore Ravens are 4-3, still in first place. I believe they're still in first place in the division, tied with the no, they're in second. I think the Bengals are still in first place as the Bengals hold the tiebreaker over the Ravens. The Saints are in the first place in that in the NFC South with just a game over the Carolina Panthers though. Um, yeah, the Ravens are a lot better football team than I was giving them credit for. They're not a joke. They're not a fluke team. I apologize to the Ravens community for saying that they were this bad. I won't disrespect the Ravens again. I shouldn't have said they were going to lose by 22 points to Drew Brees at home. Whatever. Congratulations to Drew Brees. He's beat all the teams. He's got 500 touchdown passes. He's first ticket Hall of Famer. Congratulations again. Maybe he can get his second ring this year, but I highly doubt it because there's another team in the NFC that's the fucking problem. This game sucked. It was the Redskins versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys lost 17-20. The Redskins are in first place in the NFC East. Who gives a shit? 4-2, 3-4, blah blah blah. Cowboys got Cooper, blah 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 blah. They gave up a first round pick to the Raiders. Why the fuck would they do that? Because they're stupid. Anyway, um, here is the Super Bowl winning team. They beat the dog shit right out of the 49ers, which I enjoyed to watch. I'm a big fan of big offenses. I love watching blowouts. So the Los Angeles Rams, though I don't like them, I enjoy what they're doing full-heartedly. So the Rams won 39-10 over the shitty 49ers. They are 7-0 while the Rams are these two teams are like the antithesis of each other. You can throw the Cardinals in there as well. 7-0, 1-6. High-powered offense versus a dud team. Great defense. Meh. So Niners. This was a really easy game to predict though, and it's the Rams are fun game, the fun fucking football team. Greatest show on turf version 2, the 2018 edition. I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that I'm football conscious at this point in time in football history to watch these Rams do what they're doing. Hopefully we can watch another 16-0 football season take place. I would appreciate that. I would appreciate to see another team lose in the Super Bowl after going undefeated, but it's still a little too early to talk undefeated for the Rams, but they have a fairly decent shot. They're a really good team. That offense is nearly unstoppable. The only teams that'll probably have a chance at beating them are like in their division, but like their division is garbage other than the Seahawks. So that's all that we probably are going to get them losing to is the Seahawks in the next game. But we'll see. We'll see. They're a great team. And that brought me to 8-4 because of the Cowboys and their shitty fucking underperforming selves. Goddamn done picking them again. The thing with the Cowboys is they're just like a 500 team and the Redskins are just boring. Like nobody cares that the Redskins are 4-2. Like second best defense in the NFL or third. It's a great team, but no one cares. Nobody cares about the Redskins except they're like 20 fans. Sunday and Monday night football. Sunday night, of course, we had the massacre of the Bengals. There are a bunch of dead kitties lying around as the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, I called them Cincinnati. The Kansas City Chiefs won 45-10 with their system quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He went six. They are now 6-1, and the Bengals are 4-3. And when I say that mockingly of NFL scouts who say that you shouldn't take system quarterbacks out of college because they never do good in the NFL. Remember, Patrick Mahomes was a system quarterback at Texas Tech that people were like skeptical about because he plays in a system. He might not be good in the NFL. And it's like, well, what if we build the system around him? That'll never work. It's the stupidest shit I've ever heard of in the NFL. And I'm really glad to see Mahomes succeeding like this because hopefully it breaks the mold and the barrier on these big arm quarterbacks that play in these systems that never get any respect that they deserve because they're system products. Bullshit. Mahomes is a system product. He played at Texas Tech. You can build a system around a quarterback and they can succeed. Sorry. And that's the Chiefs proving it. And then, of course, we have I thought I didn't even put this game on there. The Atlanta Falcons won 23-20 in a very boring Monday Night Football game. I stopped watching it in like the fourth quarter. I don't know how it ended. It looked like it might have been a fun finish. But 3-4 and 1-6. The Giants stink. Falcons stink too. They just stink a little bit less. So that my season so far was 48, 42 and 2. For that week, I went 10-4, one of my best like picks of the year or like weeks of the year. I've had another week where I went 10 and I think I went like 11-5. But that brings me to because of the fact that there were four bye games or four bye teams, there were two less games played this week, so there was only 14 games. So that brings me to 48, 46 or 58, 46 and 2. Sorry, I'm talking bad for whatever reason. But yep, so that's a pretty good. My pick'em results for the season is a lot better now. I'm 12 games up on 500. I actually am starting to feel good about where I'm heading. Like now with my picks, I'm starting to get the hang of it. The season's a little easier to predict now, simply because teams are like you know what the identity of teams are at this point. You kind of know how they score. You kind of know how they do against other teams. You can kind of see how they've done against teams built like the team that you're picking against or picking for. It's a little easier anyway. Let's see. Is that the end? Yep, that is the end. So I guess I'll start to end this video. Thank you so much for listening to this week 7 pick results. If you liked the video, please leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know how you did on your personal week 7 pick results down below. I went 10-4. How did you do? Thank you so much for listening to this DrTV presentation. Stay tuned later in the next 10 minutes or so for my Week 8 NFL picks video. Hopefully, you like those as much as you guys did the Week 7 video. I really appreciate all the views and the likes and the subscribes from that. Trust me, I notice it all, and I try to subscribe. I reply to every comment I can. If I missed it, I'm sorry. I'll get it in the Week 8 one. So hope to see you there. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Peace out.